River Arms Elite Operator 2. Nailed it. Rock arms.
Barricade, go left! Where are you going? Tactical doodle! 180-yard shot right here.
That's a sweet trigger on that Rock River. Rock River, Operator Elite 2.
That thing pulled through beautifully.
Oh man, what a gun. At this point, I have about 7 years of shooting the Rock River Arms AR15s under my belt. Most of that shooting has happened in the last 4 years here in the Nutnfancy project. You dudes subscribing since 2008 probably remember the first run and gun videos showing the Rock River Arms LAR-15s. I just call them AR-15s here in the project. I cranked it off with some snowy run and gun action, Armed Serenity 2008. Did it again in 2009. We had some guests show up with their own Rock River Arms AR-15s in those shoots, by the way. They did great. Mini runs in the sledgehammer drill. Inception Sledge. Troy Industries shoot, December 2011. Mini 14 Against the World. I chose a Rock River Arms AR-15 to represent the type. I ran a Rock River Arms in my Let's See series of videos, that is Law Enforcement Training Camp. Did some really fast shooting for you guys on the camera right in front of everybody. What a great gun, the Rock River Arms. On and on it goes. So many adventures here in the Nutnfancy project, years of testing. I'm finally ready for my tabletop review. I'm kind of glad I waited though, because I have so much data to show you, so much shooting to show you. The challenge will be for me to fit this all in a 50-minute video. Wish me luck. I mean, if I even show you a smattering of the shooting, proof of concept type shooting, oh dudes. Maybe I'll break out a separate video, music video for that. That'd be fun. I'm going to start off with a criticism though. On the Rock River Arms, again, the technical name is LAR15. I think Rock River goes with that name in case there's a banning list that comes out from Congress. Makes it more difficult. I just call it the AR-15s, the Rock River Arms AR-15. Here comes the criticism though. It comes from certain quarters. The guns on the table are not mil-spec. They do not adhere to military specification. That is a true statement. In their approach to the AR-15 design, Rock River Arms takes a lot of liberties. They depart heavily from military specification in as much that it relates to, I don't know, a Colt M4 M16 series of rifle. Okay, so how do I think of military specification? I kind of look at it in two different ways. And this is just my way of looking at it. One is the QA portion, that is quality assurance. That part I love about mil-spec. In other words, they do certain things to the parts to make sure they're not going to fail when you do heavy volume of fire. I like that part. That is one portion of mil-spec. The other part I'm not so stoked on, and that is how something has to be designed as specified by the US government. What's a barrel profile? How's a trigger supposed to pull? What parts do you use? You know, what accuracy is supposed to be obtained after certain rounds fired, which by the way is not that impressive with mil-spec. Nice. That part of mil-spec I think is way overrated, and if I were to bring those two and coalesce them into one realm, I would say mil-spec in and of itself is overrated, and it is not the holy grail of tactical carbines. Now, if you're an owner of Rock River Arms AR-15s, you're going to love what I have to say. If you're not, if you are worshiping on the altar of military spec, that's okay, keep an open mind. Watch the review. I think it will definitely hold your interest. And you might come away with some new data you can incorporate into your own way of thinking. Whew, so much to cover. Rules of the road. First up, I have a cold. Sorry, I'm stopped up. I'm going to do the best I can breaking out the data as I have it. And by the way, it's my data and lots of it. I don't have to go to a forum. I don't have to go to another article or review to get it. I have it. I have really 7 years worth of data on the Rock River Arms AR-15s. I'll do my best to share it with you. I may get some things wrong. If they're really wrong, I'll annotate it. You'll have to be in a computer environment to see that, of course. But you're going to get a no BS thorough review here, dudes. You know how I roll. Very independent here. That's what makes TMP work. And it's not the end-all data point. Some guys will say, yeah, I had problems with my Rock River Arms, or I had this go on, that go on. All I can give you is samples, and honestly, the two on the table were the test beds here in the Nutnfancy project. And I got to tell you this too, by spirit of full disclosure, one reason I waited so long on the review is I kind of had an axe to grind, because I had so many friends that say, hey man, if it is not a mil-spec AR-15, it is garbage. It will fail you. And I just kind of, when I started shooting the Rock Rivers, I was like, I just don't know if I believe that. I mean, this is a well put together gun. Yeah, it varies from mil-spec. I'm going to go over the features here under innovation design. But still, it's a great gun. Well, after 7 years of shooting them, I was right. They are a great gun. And just because it is not mil-spec doesn't mean it won't rock and roll and serve you well, even in serious use. So it took a while for me to be absolutely sure of that data point. Kind of an axe to grind. Because guys, some guys, even friends I know, say, buy Colt or nothing else. We'll talk about that a little bit more. Let's kick it. On to talking points, philosophy of use. This is going to be an interesting talking point, and here's why. Because of the way I ran the Rock River Arms AR-15s in the project, I think probably the best test for these guns is to use them as rental guns at a tactical carbine course. In other words, they get heavy use, because that's when you're going to reveal parts breakages, problems with the design. I got to tell you, I don't test them to that level. What I do, and what I did here in TMP, is probably run them 30 rounds fast, let them cool. 30 rounds fast, let them cool. With some exceptions. For my reliability testing, I smoked them. I mean, I would do probably 2 to 3 mag dumps, especially in this back one. I'll introduce the players here in a second. And I just ripped on through it. And so that's my methodology of testing. And I think it's really realistic with what most guys will use this gun for, and breaking it out into POU, I'll say a home defender. And you're looking at 2 home defenders for the Nutnfancy household right here. Rock River Arms, I feel absolutely confident they'll get the job done. If I didn't, I'd get something else. I've reviewed some really quality AR-15s. I'm going to review some more. Rock River Arms is not the only game in town. Bushmaster makes a great gun. Delton, Stag. On and on the list goes of great AR-15s out there. This is just one of them. And I think early on, Rock River Arms put together the high valuation, or I should just say high value AR-15 formula. Okay, so home defender, is it good enough? I would say absolutely yes. And also, if you are looking for a gun to defend your home, how many rounds a year are you going to seriously fire? Seriously, how many? I bet you will not put probably 500 rounds through your gun in a year. Probably less than 200 if you're like most guys I know. This gun will last you a lifetime, and then some. It'll last the lifetime of your children, from what I've seen as a home defender. Now, breaking into another philosophy of use, if you want it to be a competition gun, then I don't know. You know, again, I didn't run it like that. To me, a competition 3-gun tactical carbine gun is going through a lot of rounds. I mean, lots and lots, as I understand it, as I've seen it. And it's going to get heated up. Maybe then you would see some breakages, some failures. I don't know. Maybe then you'd want to spin something that has better QA, as I like to call it, quality assurance on the internals, maybe a better barrel material. Totally understandable. I think for most guys, from what I've seen here in TMP, they could be a great competition gun. Just saying, they could. Watch the comments. You're going to see TMPers roll in the comments that use it just as a competition gun. They'll tell you their experience. Like all Nutnfancy videos, this will be a data source down below with a lot of smart people on the type that will show things that I just wasn't able to reveal. Philosophy of use, recreational carbine. Absolutely. You just like shooting the gun. Not necessarily competition, but just recreation. Maybe you have your own steel targets. You set up run and gun. You go out and you play around. Awesome. Okay, all of these POUs are valid and excellent, and I'm going to end with this one, and it's kind of similar to the other ones. I'm going to say an RTR tactical carbine. Ready to run, ready to race tactical carbine. Now that's a little bit different in that all the parts are already on the gun. That's what I mean by RTR. Okay, that's used in some other things as well. It is RTR, especially on the model, depending on the model you get. And let me speak real briefly on that. This one right here is a Rock River Arms Elite Operator 2. Finally got that name down right. It was confusing to me at first. I don't know why. In the background, you guys have been watching it since 2008. The Nutnfancy Rock River Arms Entry Tactical. And I guess another ground rule would be I have modded my guns. Obviously, they're wearing some aftermarket parts, maybe an accessories. I'll talk about them. But you don't have to buy them. You don't have to mod them. You can get them ready to run. This is a 2011 Rock River Arms. I guess I need to update. I'm not going to spend a lot of time with all the models. And I think this is representative, these two guns. There's lots of variations. There's the Elite Comp, Entry Tactical, that one's in the background. Tactical Car A4. On and on it goes. So many models. You can vary your grips, your stocks, your barrel, but the internals are pretty much the same in the Rock River Arms. I recommend, by the way, the mid-length gas system. That's one reason I love this one. And this is probably my top recommended model for all-around use. That's right, all-around use. And that is, again, the Elite Operator 2. These are the test beds. I think they're very representative of the accuracy and reliability you're going to achieve with the Rock River Arms. On to innovation and design. Okay, it's not mil-spec. Well, what's not mil-spec about it, Nutnfancy? Let me start from the tip and we'll go to the stern. This one wears the Rock River Arms compensator. Their tactical compensator, their tactical muzzle brake is what they call it. That's not mil-spec. It's not an A2 bird cage. Let me tell you something. This thing freaking rocks. I don't know about flash suppression. I didn't really, measure that. But as far as staying on target, both myself and all the crew members that tested this gun loved it. There's a big move in the industry to make some very high-end muzzle devices, compensators, kind of along the competitive lines so you can do really fast shot recovery. I haven't tested a lot of them. I was very impressed with this one. For $35, if you want to add it to your gun, it's a no-brainer. But it departs from mil-spec. Now on this one in the background, talking about muzzle, this is a Phantom 5C2. And this one came with an A2 bird cage. I swapped it out. This is one of my favorite flash suppressors. It's not a compensator. You guys have been watching me run Phantoms forever. Okay, so that's the muzzle device. You can get others. Look at the Rock River Arms catalog and you can just, choose your poison. This is probably my overall favorite from my own shooting. How about the barrel? I gotta tell you, this is one thing I just love about Rock River Arms. First off, here comes a negative. I'll get to the good thing. But the negative is it's 4140 steel. It's not 4150, which is a mil-spec steel, according to my understanding. 4150 will last longer, and if it's mil-spec, it's going to be chrome lined. You'll find neither of those things in the 4140 barrel by Rock River. Wah, wah. Is that a big deal though? It depends. It depends on how many rounds you're going to be putting down range. Seriously, if you're going to be going through thousands of rounds a month, honestly, it's probably not the best choice. I myself would upgrade to a better, probably barrel, maybe overall AR15, higher price, 4150. Chrome lining will add durability. It's easier to clean, but that's on paper. The reality of the Rock River Arms barrels goes something like this. One, you get a very awesome profile. You guys know I'm a little bit picky on my profiles on my tactical carbines. I don't like pencil barrels, generally speaking, because if I'm going to, rake through a couple magazines, I want to have a thicker barrel that can withstand that. That can withstand the heat, that's stiffer, that will maintain its accuracy, and I think that's where Rock River Arms really does an outstanding job. The one in the background has what's called an R4 profile barrel. This entry tactical. You can see it under the handguard. Look how thick that is. It's not stepped down like an M4 profile barrel, which my understanding is the Army's getting away from anyhow. I don't like it. Nice and thick. It's called R4 because it has kind of a mimic M4 profile cut down right there, but that's the only skinny part of these barrels. Now the barrels are going to add a little bit of weight. If you look in the Rock River Arms catalog, by the way, it's an awesome catalog. It gives all the specifications. I don't know what gun I'll show you. Let's see. Well, let me go here. Here's entry tactical. The weight, they say, is 7.5 pounds. Okay, some of that weight's coming from that R4 profile barrel, the thicker barrel. Okay, it's a 1-in-9 twist, wild chambered barrel. In my testing here in the Nutnfancy project, that has probably been the best overall chambering that I've seen. What? What about 5.56? That's the best one, right, Nutnfancy? Well, not in my shooting. I've shot some pretty high-end AR15s here in TMP, to include Saber Defense. They're defunct now. LaRue. Let's see what else. Well, you saw it. The LWRCs. All of them are excellent, but this pretty much outshot them in accuracy. Just saying. In some cases, reliability. I'll get to that here in a second. Yeah, I know. It's surprising to me, too. The barrels are a huge win. The only way they could be made a little bit better is a better steel, but that's going to increase the price. You got to remember that the Rock River Arms AR-15s are put together for a price point. In some measure, that's why they depart from the military specification. Most of you guys out there should be stoked if they do this. You want a 4150 barrel, 1-in-8, 1-in-7 twist, chrome lined, rock on, you just increase the price $150, $175, for example. Okay? Just saying. Barrels are awesome. When you see accuracy, I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, this one, the Elite Operator 2. I did slam on probably my overall favorite handguard of all time to this point, the Troy Industries Alpha Rail. Oh, do I love this rail. Love it. Now, this gun was not born with a Troy Industries Alpha on it. It came with what Rock River Arms calls a half quad rail. If you watched my review, booth review, SHOT Show 2012 with Steve, which, by the way, did a great job reviewing the guns. We had a great time with him. We talked about the half quad. I'm generally not a fan of that handguard at its present stage. Now it's going through several generations. They are lightening it, and when they get it to this width that is skinny, I'll probably be a fan. By slapping on the Troy Industries Alpha Rail, this one right here, I save about 6 ounces. What? 6 ounces? Yeah, I think I was running a 2nd gen half quad that came with the Elite Operator 2, and its weight was, wait for it, I think 16 ounces. Yep, 16.6 ounces. This is 11 ounces. Big win. Okay, if you go into their catalog again, you can get other rail systems. They have an aluminum one. You basically can order your gun however you want it. Go to Pro Series Elite, that's a RTR, very expensive gun, and then we'll talk about track record and the DA here in a second. Whatever you want. That one's goofy. I don't like that one at all. Hate it. It's a quad rail, Rock River Arms quad rail. I like my rails skinny. I like them to be user configurable so I can put on the rails where I want it. And basically how the entire industry has gone. Anybody who's just running, this is, by the way, a Daniel Defense Omega Light on the back there on the entry tactical. That's the way I like it. Okay, so that's a Rock River Arms half quad. Not digging it so much. There were some people who shot it when we ran it that really dug it. They said, hey man, that's awesome, you know, and it really, the extra weight up front settled the gun down, especially when we're shooting off barricade. I don't know though. To me it kills the swing weight, the speed of getting the gun in action onto the receiver. I think this is 7075 T6. I know it's forged aluminum receiver. I didn't see any problems with it at all. No durability problems. Just your basic AR-15 receiver. There's a departure from mil-spec. The star selector, probably my overall favorite on an AR15. You heard me right. It is comfortable. It's awesome. Man, that's a great selector. I would put it on my gun just as an aftermarket accessory. That's how much I like it. It's just so smooth and ergonomic. The Rock River Arms trigger. Oh man, Rock River Arms triggers rock. It's 2-stage. This one pulls at about 4.5 pounds. That one pulls at about 4.25 pounds. And man, can you do some fast and accurate shooting with a Rock River Arms 2-stage trigger. Even if you don't have an RRA gun, you want to put one in, they're about $1.20. Totally worth it. Totally reliable that I've seen. You know, I didn't go mudslinging them or, you know, run them in Afghanistan for 3 years. But from what I've seen in my desert conditions, they've been very reliable. Love it, love it, love it. That's a winter trigger guard by Rock River Arms. The entry tactical did not come with it, so I slammed on a Magpul one in the background there. This is nice. When I'm talking about RTR, this is what I'm talking about. That you don't have to add any accessories. It's just ready to rock out of the box. Speaking of which, there's an ergo grip on the Elite Operator 2, which, by the way, comes in left-handed versions. True left-handed versions, as Steve explained in SHOT Show 2012 to us. So everything has changed, including the direction of ejection for lefties. Rock River Arms. Better late than never, but it's a good option. Okay, so there you go. That rocks. I guess that's a Badger Ordnance Gen 2. It doesn't come with that, and I like it because when I put a scope on, I need some extra length there on my charging handle. It's a little addition there. Also, the sight doesn't come with it. That's a Troy Industries rear battle sight. Look how flat that sucker is. Love it. You can get a Rock River Arms, how should I say, associated vendor, and actually Troy Industries is one of them. I'll just roll a picture in right here. They do sell Troy Industries battle sights together, and also they have the Arms number 40L, which I think sit about a ½ inch, so they should be able to clear under that scope bell as well. Lots of sight options on your Rock River Arms. Which one should I get, Nutnfancy? I like BUIS, man. Even if I wasn't running a scope on here, I would run BUIS just for weight. Just for weight savings, I would do it. This one, the Elite Operator 2, has a folding front sight on it, and this is a proprietary design for Rock River. Again, a departure from military specification. Kind of goofy in that it included like all kinds of swivels. Holy crap, they had one on the right, one on the bottom. I totally milled that one off on the bottom. You can see right here. Chopped it, ground it, blued it. I need to grind that side one these times. I was just in a hurry. So I killed the swivel off it. I left the one on the left because I might use it. Probably not a great idea even to leave that one on because anything bouncing around there, destroying the harmonics of the barrel, potentially could be a problem. Although you'll see from accuracy it probably didn't do anything. Short pick rail there if you want to throw a light on it. I like my lights right here at the 9 o'clock, maybe the 10 o'clock position. This is a KZ light mount that I got from Botash Tactical. Dig it. By the way, that's a Quark 123 Turbo. Great mid-value tactical light. Did a review on it. What else? Departing from Milspec, it is a commercial tube. Does that make a big difference? No, not really. Not that I've seen. I think the only difference is diameter. I'm going to pull this. There we go, commercial tube. You can see the angled portion there. The mill tubes, buffer tubes I'm talking, are flat. Just a difference in diameter. Not really of strength that I've seen or found out about, especially in my testing. So again, departing from military specification. And let's take a look at this stock, by the way. I'm going to put it back on. This is a great rear stock. Rock River Arms proprietary design. Notice it's very, I don't know, SOP mod-like. It's got the rollover cheek portions on it. Very comfortable. It locks solidly. These are your quick release cups for your sling. We did find, like we talked about with Steve at SHOT Show 2012, some sling swivels do not attach readily because the plastic's raised too much. I don't know if they'll change the design in the future. They might. I think this is called the Operator Car Stock, though. I could have the name wrong. It's got a nice rubber butt pad there. It's just an excellent stock for the money. Time to crack the gun open, take a look on the inside, especially the bolt carrier group. Pop this magazine out, safety check it, crack open the upper. Got no room on the table, so I'm going to do it off camera until this point right here. And that brings us to another awesome part of the Rock River Arms AR15s. Namely, this. The matte chrome plated bolt carrier. But wait, that's not mil-spec. I know, and I think the military doesn't like chrome plated carrier groups, at least the last time they checked, like a decade ago, because they say it accelerated receiver wear. I haven't seen that at all. Nor have I seen any chipping coming off this bolt carrier with Rock River Arms, and this isn't the only one I've run. I ran about 3 of them pretty hard, and they've been excellent. Higher lubricity, they're easier to clean. You wouldn't know it by looking at this one. Great, great option. And there's a staking of the gas key. Is that mil-spec? I don't know. Looks pretty good to me. I haven't experienced any gas key failures off the bolt carrier in all the AR-15 shooting RRA style that I've done. None at all. I've seen no bolt failures either. Now, let's talk about mil-spec. High pressure testing, magnetic particle inspection. None of these are done on a bolt from Rock River Arms. It costs too much money, and that gets into QA, the quality assurance portion, which again is a part of mil-spec I actually like, but you're gonna have to pay for it. Okay, so if you're really hard over on that, Rock River Arms ain't your AR-15. You're gonna have to pony up probably, I'll say another $500, maybe $400, depending on the make and model you get to get all those features. I'm talking mil-spec features. But again, on paper, some guys will probably cringe and go, well, there's no way I'd ever run that AR-15. But take it from me, having ran this, thousands and thousands of thousands and thousands of rounds over the last 7 years, no failures. None. Again, getting back to my protocol of testing. Great job, Rock River. Love it. And then if we get on the inside, speaking of military spec, M4 style feed ramps. Are they in here? If you guys don't know what those are, that's an experience they had with very fast cyclic rates of the M4 carbine, and so they had to do cutouts in the receiver when the magazines were not keeping up with the feed rate. And so to prevent bullet diving into the upper, they actually grooved this portion. I shouldn't say groove, but milled it so the bullet tips would feed better into the chamber. They have kind of pseudo M4 feed ramps from what I can tell in the Rock River Arms, both in this Elite Operator and the Entry Tactical on the bottom, and other ones I've looked at.
That's a hit.
And before I close the gun up, we'll take a peek from this angle of the Rock River Arms, 2-stage trigger. Again, very excellent, reliable in my experience. There's the buffer tube, and let's check upper to lower receiver fit while we're here. No wiggling at all in both of these guns and in some other Rock River guns that I've checked. Pretty tight fit. There you go. Oh, on that side there's your forward assist. I guess that's kind of a nod to mil-spec, and that's about it. Probably forgot some stuff. Let me review this though. The Rock River Arms departure from mil-spec, what you're not going to get. Talked about no HP, MPI inspection of the bolt carrier, no shot peening. I don't think it's 4150 steel in there either. Commercial tube, different selector lever, different trigger guard. By the way, all those things right there are awesome. I'm so glad they departed from mil-spec, like I said. If you go with a standard A4 and you have a fixed front sight base, they're on your version of Rock River Arms. I doubt it's an F-marked top. That is 0.198 in height, so with the shorter guns, it's the proper elevation. So you don't need a really long front sight post. It's probably not forged either, if you get that. Again, we talked about the barrel, different profile, not chrome line, not 1-in-7 twist, different flash hider. All those are departures from military specification, and it is a good thing. Whew, so much to talk about. I got a cruise, weight and size. Well, the gun's on the table. That is the Entry Tactical in the background. As you see it configured, this gun right here, 8 pounds, 12 ounces. And that's with a Leopold scope on it, no light. By the way, that's a PRI folding front sight on that. And then I have the old naval style of multi-aperture, I think the MAD folding front sight, rear sight on that. It's kind of ancient, but it works. I'm not replacing it. This one is 9 pounds, 7 ounces with everything you see on it and in it, including the light, the Burris Full Field 2 tactical scope, which by the way is outstanding. And I think that's with a 20 round mag pole that both these guns are wearing. Decent weight. If you look in their catalog of Rock River Arms, you'll see the weight of your gun more or less represented. They'll vary from that a little bit. I think most of them run around 8 pounds. Again, the thicker barrel adds some weight. To me, that's good weight. Your mileage may vary. Ergonomics. I think I covered most of this in innovation design. I think the stock, and I'm talking about this one right here, the operator car stock is just excellent. You can get an A2 stock with it, other stock variations. The hand grip is great. The half quad rail, as it currently stands in 2012, not so great. I'd replace it. Again, you guys may totally dig it. The trigger, we talked about. Overall, the ergonomics on the Rock River Arms AR15 is superb. I should say are superb. Just rocks. It's not ambi though. You might have to get a left. I mean, if you're a lefty and you want to go with a right gun, I don't know why you do that. I'd just buy a left version. You don't have ambidextrous selector, which I'm sorry, I hate. I don't like it. Overall, excellent. Materials and quality, we covered that already. Pretty much in innovation design, right? What did I miss? I don't know. Probably not much. What about firepower? Take any mag you can throw into an M16, M4, AR15, and that is a good thing. More rounds gives us options. It's more fun shooting that way too. I had a really sick Surefire mag around here somewhere. Oh, here it is. 60 round Surefire will fit in there. Beta mags, all of that. I don't really find it to be that big of a deal. I'm talking reliability wise for any mag I ran in the Rock Rivers. Alright, I talked about the barrels. They're heavier barrels, they're 1-9 twist. This is where it kind of gets weird because I myself generally like a 1-8 twist barrel. I think it's a good all-around twist rate, maybe a 1-7, but not always. And I have found here in TMP as I've tested more and more tactical carbines that each one is an individual. In other words, I'll shoot something that's 1-7 twist that should really stabilize a heavier bullet, maybe it's a 69 to 77 grainer, and it doesn't do it. And then I shoot a gun like the Rock River Arms at 1-9 twist that does. I know, I don't figure it out either. I'll get to that here in just a second. First, let's start off with the gun in the background. When I ran it in 2010, was it? Law enforcement training camp. I totally dropped this sucker on the concrete. Yeah, you guys remember that vid? I thought it was strapped in. I was doing camera work. I was shooting in the course. I had no cameraman. I did all that camera work alone, and I shot the course. It was insane. I thought I had it snapped in, so I let go of the gun. It wasn't snapped in. Bang! Right on the concrete it fell. Right on that Leopold scope. Dudes, that sucked. By the way, that scope took a hit. I'm talking a Vulcan hit, and it still maintains 0. Okay, so this in Letzi shot very well. I'm talking accuracy wise, and I wish I had paper from there. You can go look at those videos while you're at it. But one of the things that I had to do is reconfirm 0, and here's a target when I did that. This is a Rock River Arms entry tactical Wolf, 50 yards. This is after the drop. I was re-zeroing it. Wolf. When I talk about other guns, how they should shoot low quality ammunition well, you know what gun I'm referring to? This one, the Rock River Arms. Put this down. Yeah, I mean, look at that group. Wolf, yeah, it's at 50 yards, but still, that's smoking. Awesome, that one opened up a little bit. Another good group. There you go. Cruising on. Then we get into Elite Operator 2. Let's see if I can go chronologically. Yeah, let's do that. Look at this. Shut up. This is this gun right here with a 3x9 Burris on it. This is in October 2011. American Eagle 55 grain full metal jacket. This stuff right here. That's what I'm talking about. Dudes, that's like 1 MOA right there. Maybe 1 1/4 MOA. Look at that. I ain't making this stuff up. That one opened up some. Wow. For whatever reason, this particular gun really likes that American Eagle. Again, every gun can be an individual. You know what I'm saying? Just phenomenal accuracy out of that load. When I shot these groups, I was like, why continue? Why even spend money on some really expensive ammunition? I mean, God, look at that group. I know, I'm just Can't shut up about it. It's just amazing. This one came out. This was with open sights, iron sights, 50 yards in the desert. Wolf, 55 grain. This is December 2011. Shut up. That's with iron sights at 50 yards out of this gun. I'll show you footage somewhere along the way. Here we go, December 2011. Wolf, still zeroing. This is 100 yards, Wolf. Not bad, you can see it opened up a little bit. That's still, what, a 2.5 inch, maybe, yeah, let me see. That's about a 2.5 inch group, 2 inch group. That one's about 3-ish with Wolf. Look at that one though. You know, some of these could be, to me, bad trigger press, I don't know. Entry Tactical, he wants to get in on the fun. That's this gun in the background. This is with only a 5-power scope, and guess what? It was today. I said to myself, man, I gotta go shoot that gun for accuracy. I've shot so many times tactically on the camera, but I've never shot it for accuracy. So I made time to go do it today, and check this out. PMC. That is just like affordable full metal jacket 55 grain ammo. Out of a Rock River Arms AR15 Entry Tactical with a 5-power scope. Dude. Oh, and by the way, you remember in Troy Industry Shoot, December 2011? If you guys watched that video, do you remember when I was missing with this gun? I was like, what is going on with this gun? Yeah, it was shooting high. This is where my point of aim was today. I was like, because I shot right here, the rounds hit here. So I was sailing over the rounds. We talked about that on camera. That was the deal. I had it, I don't know what I had it zeroed for. I always change ammunitions and change the zeros as I do testing. Very pleased with that. PMC. That's a 1 MOA group right there, dudes. Wow. And yes, I ran some expensive stuff through it too. Out of the gate, it wasn't too impressive. This is a Rock River Arms Elite Operator 200 yards. Snowing, by the way. Burris 3x9. This was today. Fiocchi 77 grain Match King. I was looking at it through the spotting scope, like, that's not so great, but I think this one was because of me, and I was like, I need to get serious, and so I did. Oh yeah, much better. There's a half MOA group with 77 grain Match Kings out of a 1-in-9 twist barrel. Wait, there's more. How about this? Federal Premium 69 grain Match Kings, 3 rounds into basically one hole. What? Out of a 1-in-9 twist Rock River Arms AR15. This is what I'm talking about. Here's Federal Premium 55 grain Nosler ballistic tip. About a 1-inch group, maybe just under a 1-inch group. And then I finished it off with PMC FMJ 55 grain. It speaks for itself. This gun shoots the same way. Amazing accuracy out of the Rock River Arms. Watch the comments. You're going to have guys that have all kinds of variations of their Rock River Arms, like the Predator Pursuit, which is amazingly accurate. Even in the catalog, it says that's half MOA, which, by the way, Rock River Arms is very conservative on their accuracy estimates in their catalogs. They may say 1 MOA, 1.5 MOA. From all the shooting I've done over the years, it's much better than that. If you give it premium ammunition, you're well under 1 MOA. Heck, I've been showing you, if you fire just quality full metal jacket rounds, you're about a 1 MOA out of these guns. There you go. That's accuracy. I would say it's not just outstanding, it is phenomenal out of these guns. And it really sets the bar for the entire competition. And there is great competition. Again, Delton, Stack, Smith & Wesson, forgot those guys. Oh man, I mean, just great guns out there, but you gotta do as good as these guns are doing. We're talking 1 MOA with FMJ. All right, I'll shut up now. Reliability and durability. I've been hitting on it all along in the review. Again, the best test would be as a rental gun at a tactical carbine course, something that guys are going to be running a lot. I will say in my running of these guns, and we're talking thousands of rounds sent downrange, both in steel-cased ammunition, which by the way was 100% with both of these guns. Oh wait, let me back up. Mostly 100%. Because I think I did have a bobble in the Rock River Arms Entry Tactical, several actually, which I'm going to attribute to ammunition. Notoriously dirty and underpowered. That's Wolf ammo. For me, it's just a training ammo. I would never use it for realsies. But occasionally there was a stoppage in that gun. And I'd pull the round out and it usually had a struck firing pin, just didn't go off. That's not the gun's fault. That's the ammo's fault. Durability has been outstanding. It is a 4140 barrel if you send thousands of rounds. Once again, everything I said plays. You might want to upgrade to a higher QA gun. And that's what I prefer to say, is a higher QA, not mil-spec. Because mil-spec, in some ways, just doesn't work for me. I want more. I want the advancements of the commercial gun industry to make a better gun. Like the JP Enterprises gun. I mean, that's not mil-spec. That thing is amazing. Phenomenal reliability and accuracy. Field strip we showed you. Accessories. I've been showing those to you all along as well. Not much to add to that. Muzzle brake is awesome. The half quad rail we talked about. Operator card stock. Rock River Arms proprietary flip front slide. Can't speak. Flip front sight gas block. That's about $85 if you want to add it to your gun. They have Ergo Sure grips. They have Hogue grips, by the way. They have arms sights, winter trigger guards. We talked about that. On and on it goes. You can configure it however you want. These are how I like running my AR15s, so I don't mind changing up a little bit. By the way, that's a Magpul CTR stock and my ad grip right here. The MOE would be just as awesome. And the other changes I think I've said, and that is the LaRue mount on that Leopold scope. Duracoated and black hot Cody, tanned by me. That's accessories. Here we go. Wrapping it up. Value. How about $800 for some of the Rock River Arms AR-15s? $800? Yeah. You can find them for that. You find them on sale. You can get them. Depends on the variation you get, the type you get. $800. If you really start cranking on the accessories, their list in their catalog is going to be about $1,000, but you're probably going to be under that. To me, that is a lot of value. If you go to a gun store like Impact Guns, where I got this one, great prices, you're going to get well under $1,000 for your Rock River Arms. Totally and absolutely worth it in the philosophies of use I've talked about. There's a lot of competition in this market. I ain't going to lie to you guys. You know that. I mean, again, I've mentioned all the makers before. In a lot of ways, to me, they've got to prove themselves as good as the Rock River Arms. I'm talking reliability and accuracy, especially. The value is smoking for these guns. Smoking. I hope they don't lose their way. I'm talking to you, Rock River Arms, because Bushmaster lost their way. I remember around in 2003, they just had a huge price increase. That's when I became lukewarm on Bushmaster. It was the same gun, same quality levels, and suddenly it's $150 or more or less, more. And I was like, dudes, no, I'm not interested. And that's when I got into Rock River Arms. And they have been consistent in their value formula. And it sounds like they're going to stay that way, talking to Steve there, who is in product development over there. That's it, boys. Track record. Well, I said I'd mention this. I guess I should. Rock River Arms was adopted by DEA. And they had a 5-year contract to run their guns. They have that version, and they've been pretty happy. And I think they spun off some other federal contracts with Rock River Guns as well. It might be FBI, I don't know, some other 3-letter agency. I don't know. But again, I'll just go back to my own data of 7 years here in TMP, and before TMP, my track record's been excellent.
There it is.
Again, mil-spec, better said QA. How important that is that to you? I would be really realistic. How many rounds are you going to send down range? If you are going to be a recreational AR-15 user, you might not want to spend the money on a so-called mil-spec gun. You'll never use it to the point where it would ever fail. But Nutnfancy, I just like knowing if I ever have to use it to that level that I have that quality. I get it. I understand, and I'm on board with that as well. But just understand you're going to be paying about 40% more in some cases, maybe 30% more. The competition is always changing in the black rifle market, and I see us getting a lot more gun for our money, and the mil-spec QA is filtering down to the value guns. Smith & Wesson is doing some of that. That is all good. And so Rock River Arms got to keep their game going. They're going to have to do more. Maybe later on they offer a 4150 barrel. They do an HP MPI bolt carrier, bolt. They might have to do that. It just depends on what the competition does. Myself, my crew, my family, we're fans of the Rock River Arms AR-15s. They have proven themselves over and over again. Run and gun adventures here. I highly recommend them. They are Hall of Famers here at the Nutnfancy Project. That's my review. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.
Good. Couple more. Where's that little one? There it is. Oh, dude. It's that little mini torso on the left. Second. Look at that frosting. Woo!